Eva here, welcome to my channel and welcome to a brand new Sims 4 speed build. In today's video I am continuing my obsession with New York City, which has been ongoing for a long time now. I'm genuinely just literally obsessed with watching anything New York related, like YouTube videos, TV shows, films, anything really that's located in New York City. I'm watching like apartment hunting videos, apartment tours, and I just feel really inspired by the architecture there. And because I already built some New York townhouses previously, I wanted to tap into a more like realistic street with like apartments and stuff. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. So I built these apartment buildings in classic New York City style, and because I wanted it to be like as realistic as possible as I can get in The Sims, I decided to put like shops and a cafe underneath as well. So on the ground floor there's like commercial buildings, and then on the first, second and third floor you have all the apartments. And because I wanted to make more like spacious apartments than actual New York City apartments, I decided to make one apartment per building instead of like having one apartment per floor, just because they would have been tiny and it's more fun to create like bigger apartments. So yeah, I love these apartment buildings so much. I am genuinely so excited to show you them. Of course I had to use the brownstone CC by Harry, which is like one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite pack of CC. Those New York windows are just to die for. I love them so much. I could build with them every single week. They're just so realistic and beautiful. I love them to death. And like one of the things that you think of first when you think of like New York City buildings and apartments is fire escapes. At least that's what I think of, because they have so many buildings where they have just these fire escapes out the window, which is such a cool industrial feature. I love it so much. So I included them on this lot as well. So I built fire escapes on 2 of the buildings. I think it looks so cool and you can like instantly relate it to New York. And I genuinely had a blast decorating these for the exterior. I used some trims from Pierre Sims, so they're from their Maison pack, as well as some doors. I love those doors. And I also used some air cons, you know, like they have them hanging out the window in New York City, which is very typical New York as well. So I incorporated that feature as well and like added little bits of aircon to the building. I just think it gives it such a realistic flair. I love it to bits. And I obviously had the most fun adding in all the street decor as well. Like I said, like in previous videos, I enjoy building streets so much, like little signs and lampposts and gutters and rain pipes and all that stuff. It's just so fun, and I feel like it makes the build come to life in a way. It just feels so like real. Also, the commercial buildings were very interesting to build because I very rarely build community builds, and it was fun to like mix both like residential and commercial. Unfortunately, like in The Sims, the lot type will have to be set to either residential or like a cafe, for example. You can't combine both, which is so sad, and I'm still hoping that one day The Sims will incorporate those kind of lot types where you can combine 2 different lot types. That'd be so fun. But yeah, the cafe that I built was well overdue. I've been meaning to build a cafe ever since Harry's spoon set dropped. It inspired me so much to delve into the community space a little bit, and I thought it would be perfect to not just build like a cafe exclusively, but have it be part of a residential build as well. So yeah, it's a little cafe on the corner, and I also used the cold brew pack by Pierre Sim as well as the rise and grind pack by Little Dicker, and I think they all 3 combine so well. I mostly used Pierre Sim's and Harry's just because Little Dicker's pack is a bit more industrial, and I think this one I was leaning more into like the artsy eclectic vibes. Didn't delve into a very modern style, but I used the modern spoons windows by Harry. They're so cool with like the foldable window. They're so cool, and you can place like tables there. It's so cool. I love it to bits. But yeah, the interior is more like a bit more traditional, and I think Pierre Sim's cold brew pack was like perfect for it because I think it was Paris inspired, so that vibe I kind of wanted to portray here, but like in a New York style. Honestly, furnishing this cafe was amazing because of those 3 creators, because their CC items are just incredible. There's everything you could ask for, from like little syrup bottles to mugs and cups and pastry dishes, cakes, cakes, croissants, all of that stuff. It's so fun. Just to clutter up the whole space with these cafe items. I've never had more fun creating a cafe in my entire life, and that's my first CC cafe, so I think that speaks for itself. And like I said, I wanted it to be very eclectic, very colourful, so I used a lot of art prints that just, I don't know, like make it really artsy and like give it this boho vibe, which I love, as well as like hanging plants and just, I love the vibe of this cafe. I really hope you like it too. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, which I really hope you are, then please consider leaving a like and also subscribing down below. That would really mean a lot to me. And if you want to get notifications for when I post new videos, then you can also hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video. But yeah, let me go into the first apartment now, because I built 3 apartments. So you have this apartment, which is like above the cafe, then in the middle we have an apartment above a clothes store, and then on the leftmost building we have the smallest apartment, because it's only 2 floors, above a travel agency. But yeah, this apartment I built with a new colorway. I went for a traditional dark brown because I don't know why, but I feel like dark brown is what I associate with like these apartment buildings in New York. It might come from the brick outside or something. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's how I was feeling. But I wanted to elevate it and not make it too traditional and old-fashioned. So in this apartment, I combined it with beige and white, which I think looks stunning. In general, like I was obsessed with dark brown in this build. So the first 2 involve a dark brown heavily. The third one doesn't, because that's black and white, but the first 2 are definitely inspired by that dark brown. I don't know why, but I was just feeling it. By the way, I forgot to say this before, but it's such a cute little detail that I wanted to point out. So you know, on the ground floor you have the shops and like the cafe, and then you have a separate entrance to the apartment, which I built like on the side, and then you walk in and there's little post boxes that I put, and then you walk up those like traditional stairs. That's just what I feel like the stairs in Friends and those like big apartment buildings look like. And then upstairs there's like this little trash chute, and also I love the maison set by Pierrism because it comes with a little doorbell, which was just perfect. And along with those doors, they were just perfect for New York buildings, in my opinion. I don't know, I really liked how they looked, and with a little doorbell as well, so that's why I included a bit of the corridor as well that you see me build, but they're all identical, so they're not anything special. I just found like the little details really cute. You know me, I love detailing things up. But yeah, back to the apartment. So the first apartment is a 3-bed 1-bath. We have 2 kids rooms, so one's a nursery and one is a double toddler room, and there is also a walk-in wardrobe and an office. The office I filmed off camera because it was a spontaneous decision to include it at the end, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna build that off camera. But yeah, there is a little office that you can see in the tour at the end if you want. In the kids room, so in the nursery, I used a crib by Panda Sama, which is actually a functional crib. It's like a modded crib as well, so you can pick up toddlers from the crib and stuff like that. So there's actual interactions with the crib, which is so cool. I love their stuff for toddlers so much. That little rocking horse that I used in that room as well is also from them. And so it is the little toy kitchen, which was I think a collab with Ravisheen. I love their CC for toddler rooms so much because they're functional like activities for toddlers that look cute and work in game, so that's just a win-win situation for me. So yeah, if you haven't downloaded their CC yet, then go ahead and run and do that right now. You'll find a full list of like CC creators and links in the description down below, and also on my Patreon, where you can also find the tray files, which is linked below for free, of course. But yeah, now let's move on to the clothes store real quick. It's nothing special, it's just a little elegant, super luxurious clothes store, for which I used some clothing racks by Ravisheen, which are absolutely stunning, as well as obviously the bags from the Lavish set by Charlie Pancakes were perfect because they're like designer shopping bags that come as like wardrobe clutter for that set, and they just were perfect to use in a shop because they're luxury shop bags. So yeah, that was a really cool touch, I thought, to use them there. Also shows how freaking versatile all this CC is, that you can use it in so many different environments and settings. Same goes for the cafe CC, like all the cafe CC I use pretty much regularly in most of my builds. So there, yeah, everything's just super versatile, which I love about CC. It's not themed like most of the Sims items are, but yeah, CC is just the best thing that ever happened to the Sims. But yeah, let's move on to apartment number 2. Like I said, the clothes store isn't that interesting, but the second apartment I kept in a bit of color because I was feeling a bit more color with this build, because I feel like it went with the exteriors and like the vibes. I wanted them a bit more down to earth but still be like designery and pretty. So I went for a green, which other than like earthy tones is like a go-to color of mine if I use color ever. And here also I added dark brown details and accents, as well as white stone accents. And overall I'd say this apartment is more traditional than the other apartments, or any apartments that I usually ever build, because mine are very modern and very like sleek and timeless, whereas this one I added a lot of little bits and bobs, like the chairs, the kitchen counters, little things that make it feel a bit more traditional, but not in like a old-fashioned style, but still like maybe someone who loves vintage furniture, or like just is into this kind of vintage aesthetic but still wants to keep like modern touches here and there. And in this apartment is actually my favorite kids room out of all the builds. The first kids room that I build in this apartment is just such a cozy vibe with the big bed in the little corner. I also added lots of green prints and kind of tied in the green theme without like overloading it. There's a lot of beige and there's also mustard accents to kind of break up the green monotone vibe that it would have given off without any other color. Also, is anybody else obsessed with using the trailing plant from the plant kit? For some reason, every time I'm like, I need a hanging plant, I'm like, that one it is, because it's just such a pretty plant. I love it to bits. But yeah, let's move on. I also built a little nursery in that building as well. And then on the top floor, you have the main bedroom, which is like a big open space. And I used a bed by Grown Cookies, which I love. It's so pretty. I love how the fabric kind of flows. And yeah, I also included a roof terrace here because, like I said, the leftmost building is only 2 floors, so there is room for a roof terrace above there, which is connected to the main bedroom of the second apartment. So yeah, they have a really cute roof terrace with a little barbecue and lots of plants, which is what I would adore. Imagine having a roof terrace in New York. It'd be to die for. And then onto the last build, where I decided to build a little office. Well, it's supposed to be a travel agency, but obviously that's not really a lot type in The Sims. And I thought, because a lot of Sims like to use PCs when they go to visit your Sims' lot, so I included like thousands of PCs in that office so they can get busy down there and not bother you upstairs in your apartments. And then upstairs I went for a black and white apartment that's very minimal and very elegant, because I was thinking there is no kids room for this, so the people living here don't have to worry about kids knocking things off of pedestals and breaking things. That was a fun one because I used a very dark floor, which I rarely ever do. I usually go for light brown wood floors or like medium brown wood, but for this one I wanted to go all out there and go for a very dark, almost black color, which I think looks so good with the white walls and just the white furnishings in general. I think it looks so elegant. But yeah, I'm afraid that is everything I have for you today. It's another long one, I know, but I was just so inspired to build these apartment buildings. And yes, it took me a long time, but it was also worth it because I've loved every minute of building it. And yeah, I really hope you will like them too. There is the tour still coming up where you can see all the polished views of all the apartments, obviously all the shops and the cafe. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see you again next week with a brand new Sims 4 speed build. Bye!